Shanti and good morning. Is the voice okay?
Yes.
So, this month being the month of our beloved Mama, there is a lot of things that we get to hear about how she was, what she did. So many of us might have not met her, but we do get the picture of what kind of a soul she was. And one of the things that are very unique to Mama is it is said that she would hear whatever Baba's instruction were, and it would be immediately implemented. So there are two things for that to happen. The first thing is the nischay, the full faith that she had. And that is one of the ingredients to create such a behavior. And the second thing is to be able to accept and surrender your own mind. So in order for her to be able to do that, she had complete acceptance. So whatever was coming to her, it was accepted. And then if there was any objection, the mind had already surrendered. And that's what one of the lines that defines our knowledge is to surrender the mind. What does that mean? To accept whatever is given, whatever Baba is giving us, to 100% accept that. And there is a reason for that, because there is benefit for us. Whenever we accept anything, we are the one who benefit from it. But it is very strange that this is one of the most easiest thing to do, because there is nothing to do. There is nothing to do. And this is the most difficult thing, is because there is always objection to accepting something. Because there is a feeling that you're going to lose something. There is a feeling that something is going to be hurt within yourself if you accept. And the beauty of this is that it is so easy to implement. And we will see as we go through why it's the easiest thing to implement, yet it's the most difficult thing to put to practice. So let us explore this topic just by understanding a few things, and then we will see how we can practice this through some reflections. And then if there is anything that is further need any kind of clarification, we'll go through questions if there are any, or sharings after that. So one of the things that comes up when we look at this power. It's not one of those 8 powers that we talk about. But if you look at all the powers, the power for acceptance is included in it. The first thing that I need to do is to be able to accept before I can do the packing up. I can tolerate before I can withdraw. And to me, the power to cooperate is synonymous to the power to accept. I can't cooperate unless I have been able to accept first. So you see that somehow first there is acceptance, and then one of these powers also engage. So it's like a prerequisite power that I need to have is to first to be able to accept. And what do I need to do to accept? What I need to do to accept? I need to do nothing. There is nothing that I need to do to accept. Just to accept. And the beauty of, especially in the drama, the beauty of power to accept is that I always say this, whether you accept or you don't accept, you accept. Whether you accept or you don't accept, you accept. Because eventually, whatever is happening is happening. You don't change anything in it. And this is the wisdom of our knowledge that Baba explains us that everything is accurate. Every person is accurate. You are accurate. Everything that you see, that you have seen, and that you're going to see is perfectly okay. So when we know this, why there is no acceptance? It's given, right? So what is it that creates this resistance to accept? So we can reflect on this and understand. Because every time there is resistance on anything, it creates disharmony. Whether it's me with myself, whether it's me with other people, whether it's me with a situation, whenever there is resistance, we lose our peace. There is disharmony. Yeah. So you notice that in your body. Why? Because if there is any kind of force that is opposing, you have to put in a lot of energy, and then you get tired. Internally, even if there is a thought, let's say there is a situation and there is a thought, and that thought is resisting something, there is a feeling of stress that starts building up. And that stress is not useful for us. In fact, it's the cause of all other problems that we experience physically, mentally, emotionally. This becomes like a trigger that creates so many problems for our own experience of life. And that's only one simple thing: let go of resistance. Letting go of resistance. And Baba always says, check and change, no? Whenever there is resistance, does it take time for you to feel? It just takes 1 second. Immediately there will be, you will know that you're resisting something. Even now, if you check in your mind, how you feel. What are the things going on in your mind? If there is any kind of resistance, you will realize and you will feel that there is some kind of resistance. Just a simple thing. If there is any kind of illness that you're going through and you don't want that, just a flu or anything, you notice how everything collapses. You can't listen to anything, you can't hear anything. Just when, sometimes, it's a really amazing that a small thing can shake us so much. Just a small illness, not a big illness, just a small illness. It doesn't make you feel comfortable. You don't feel comfortable. You lose your power. You start, you're not able to communicate well. You're not able to meditate. You are not able to listen to anything. Just a small little thing, because it takes all your intellect goes towards that. And there is no, like, you're ill. Of course, you can go to the hospital, take medication, or do something, to change that, but it will take time. And then when it has to go, it will just go by itself, you know. So, so resistance is our cause of any kind of discord, any kind of losing our peace, losing our harmony. And acceptance is a simple solution to that. The moment you accept, but then there is something in between, right? The ego. The ego doesn't allow us to accept. Yeah. Because there is a need, there is a desire, there is an expectation that comes in between. Yeah. So why is there resistance? Why is there resistance? Resistance is the friction, is like a friction. It causes dissipation of energy. Yes, very true. Yeah. No understanding. No, that's true. So there are two people, and there is their thoughts that come up. Each person is having their own perceptions. Each person has their own beliefs. Each person has grown up to think and understand things in a certain way. The way their logic works is in a certain way. And therefore, as many people that there are so many opinions. Each person has their own opinion. And when I have an opinion and the corresponding person has a different opinion, then what happens? Then I start using force to convince the other person that I am right and they are wrong. But I know that if I put myself in that other person's, let's say, condition, upbringing, beliefs, and everything, I would probably say exactly as what the other person is saying, or what the other person is thinking, or what the other person is doing. Just think about it. Okay, if you are exactly in the same situation, you are not you and you are that person, you would exactly say what that other person is saying, right? So whatever you say, whatever you think, is usually based on your conditioning and your experience of life that you have gone through. But the funny part is that we all go through different experiences. We have different culture. We have different background. We come from different religion. We come from different countries, you know. So we all have different way of processing things, and whose way is correct? Is your way right, or is the other person's way right? Of course, we have a measure, right? But where did that measure come from? Usually, it's this very old belief that has been implanted by our parents, our teachers, our society. And then we use that to decide what is right. Like, sometimes you laugh actually when you see somebody is insisting on something, and it is just some condition that they have from their childhood, but they insist so much because there is no negotiation. It has to be like this. Why does it have to be like that? They might have even a logic behind that, but that's limiting to that person's perception, that person's belief, that person's inclinations. And it doesn't have to be a universal truth. But still, there is so much conflict that we have, whether it's in the centers, whether it's in our homes, or whether it's at our workplace. The reason that there is resistance to something is that I think in a certain way, the other person thinks in a different way, and we have to do one thing. So, yeah, no understanding. Irjavan says lack of total self-acceptance, looking for change. Maybe I am much of a judge. We are all judges, we are lawyers also. So not only that we say something, but we start defending it as well. Yeah. And we are very convinced that I am right. And I'm not saying that, sometimes if you are an observer, you might find that, okay, one person has more because you align to that particular way of thinking. But the question is not who is right. The question is never who is right. The question is where is harmony? Because when I am right, doesn't mean that there is peace within myself. When I'm right, it doesn't mean that I have peace in myself. Yeah. So thank you for bringing that word. So different people have different sanskars. How is that? How are those sanskars created? Those sanskars are created through my beliefs, through my perception, through what I think is correct. And then I create that, sanskars. Yeah. So let us see what do we have in common. So now we understand that our difference brings opinion and then creates stress and resistance. But is there something that is higher than that and is also constant and common? So just one comment, I think from the previous discussion, the self says, sorry, it's a long one. Okay, by. So 1 second, let me just read it because as we go, we're getting inputs because that's good also, so that we can see others also how they look into this. So to put yourself in someone else's shoes means to try and understand their perspective, feeling, and experience by imagining yourself in their situation going beyond self. It involves moving beyond your own experiences and biases to grasp how another person might feel in that particular situation. If someone is upset about a situation, putting yourself in their shoes might involve considering their past experience, their personality, and their circumstances that led to their reaction. Vinod Bai says the power to think blood is common. What is common? Blood is common. Yeah. So what I learned much, much early when I came to Gyan was that the more we look into the grosser things, the more difference we start seeing. Okay. My face, my eyes, my nose, my ears is different from your eyes, your face, your nose, your ears. It is quite obvious. So the grosser we look into things, what we start noticing is these differences. And as we become more subtle, the things that we don't see, like for example, within ourselves, we are not able to see it, but we know that, there is blood and our blood is the same. This is still physical. But look at everybody loves happiness. Have you seen anyone in this world who doesn't want to be happy? That's common. Everybody likes peace. Everybody likes harmony. That is common. Yeah. And we understand from knowledge that we are all souls. That is common. We belong to the one. The other day I was talking to somebody, and when I mentioned something to do with God, and that person asked me which God. And I said, are there two of them? To me, there is no other. It's the same. Whoever you are referring to, whether you know it or you don't know it, there is only one. There are no two. So why the question is which one? Because we have created so many different ones, and we try to think and impose other people to think the same way as we think. Sometimes, somebody who doesn't have understanding of this knowledge, and we try to convince them that, oh, this is correct. I think really waste of time, because it is not something that I can convince somebody else. That person has to accept through his own understanding. And this is such a beautiful thing that, yes, sometimes it helps us to put ourselves in other people's shoes. But generally, whether we try to think about it or not, we can understand that every soul is in its particular state of evolution. So the way the soul evolves to wake up is not the same. And they're going to understand and they're going to think only according to the level that they have evolved. So when I am trying to think that that other person will think the same way that I think, or will understand in the same way that I understood, then I'm in big trouble, because that's not going to happen. Yes, sometimes it might just occur, but many times people understand things very differently. And so how is it that I can expect that they will think in the same way that I do? Why can't I just leave them and let them grow the way they have to grow naturally. Just like I understood, the same way they are understanding. Can I just accept it, accept everyone as they are? Yeah. So this is something that we need to explore. So what is the first step for acceptance? What is the first step for acceptance? So to me, I think, yes, to listen carefully. Yeah. So when I am in this journey of acceptance, yes, the first thing is to accept myself. Actually, the only thing that you have to accept is to accept yourself. And in that self-acceptance, everything else is included. The reason I'm not accepting another person or I'm not understanding another person is that whatever that person is doing or saying, it enters me and I have a difference between whatever that person is saying. So it is this difference that is creating the resistance. So whatever is inside me, if I don't resist that, then I will not resist the person because it is not creating discomfort within me. This is very important to understand that the only thing that you are really accepting is you are accepting your own feelings, your own emotions, your own whatever is going on through you. So there is a situation, and this situation is here, and I have something, an opposition to that situation. I don't like it. I don't want it. And within me, there is an experience. And that's the experience that I need to accept. So when I accept myself, there's nothing to do with right or wrong. It is what I'm feeling right now. If I can accept that, I have already become powerful. I accept that this is a difficult moment. I accept that this is creating turbulence within me. I accept that there is a lot of resistance towards this particular thing. The moment I accept that, then automatically I have accepted another person and I have accepted that situation that is difficult for me. So we'll come to the question in a moment, but we need to understand that the first thing that I need to accept is to accept myself. And when I say myself, I mean my feelings, my emotion, my thinking, my everything. Accepting it as it is, which means that it is unconditional. And why I have to do that is because there is no other way forward. Whether I accept or I don't, I have to accept anyway. Yeah. Now, one of the things that happens here is that people misunderstand acceptance and they think that when somebody has accepted something, it means that they are not going to grow. No. If there is any growth that is going to happen, it is only going to happen after one person has accepted. There is no transformation without exception. And this is such a beautiful picturization of it. You can see as I humbly water myself and give myself nourishment, the only thing that comes out is flowers. Now we like to water other people, but we forget to water ourselves. It's such a beautiful representation of acceptance, self-acceptance. So when I do this, then I'm able to extend love. In fact, love is acceptance. When there is love, acceptance is always there. They all go together. Yeah. So this is how my relationship starts improving. I accept myself the way I am. I accept others the way they are. I accept situations the way they are. And then there is transformation. Otherwise, I am stuck. There is disharmony. There is resistance. There is stress. And everything collapses. So I will pause here. And if you would like to share anything, you can go ahead, please, and share. Anyone would like to share something from what you've heard, and if there is anything that you appreciated or you're taking away from this?
Om Shanti Adesai.
Om Shanti.
I like when you said accepting self. Even I feel the whole thing starts from me. Everything starts from me. But I always would like to keep a clarification as I put the question. Does acceptance also mean I'm justifying myself? Because acceptance over here means I'm right. Nothing else is right. Or it may be, does acceptance mean, do I appreciate what is happening? Or do I say I've got nothing to do with it? I am right. This two kind of thing which happens from acceptance. One is it justifying the self? Or is it appreciating whatever is happening? I have nothing to do. Because I always believe in what Eckhart Tolle said, accepting the present as it is to have a good future. So can you just synchronize my thought of these three things? I hope you understood.
So
First
I
one is,
would go, yeah, I would go by that only, that understanding that there is no other way. If I need a better future, I have to accept this moment. There is no other way. This is wisdom. Based on that wisdom, it is not judging, is neither judging. Okay, acceptance is neither judging. Acceptance is wisdom to be able to know that there is no other way. There is only one way. Okay, then the mind doesn't need to interfere in that. Okay, so before I can take a step for change, the first step first is to accept. I can't resist and then create change. There is no way change is going to come. Okay. So let's say, for example, you have a flu. You have to accept that this is uncomfortable. I've got a flu. Okay. Or whatever the situation, there is a person who's having different opinion. The first thing first is to accept that this is what is happening, because this is a current moment experience. This is your experience right now. Whether you like that or you don't like that, you think it is right or you think is wrong, the first thing is to be able to start from a space of peace. So I always say that to other and to myself, that you cannot say something to someone if you are peaceless. First, I have to be in harmony with myself, and that comes by acceptance. Yeah.
so you're concluding by saying that. So I mean, can I conclude by saying acceptance is not necessarily appreciation. I'm just giving
Mhm.
up. I'm
Yeah.
giving up.
So, yeah. So when you say it doesn't have to be appreciation, acceptance is understanding. Okay. Understanding a higher wisdom. Okay. Acceptance is to understand something not just literally, because the mind is wired to look at things and see that to remove immediate pain from that thing, it creates justification, it creates, um, thoughts that will try to make you think that you are right, you know, things like that. Whereas I appreciate that this other person is in their particular stage of evolution. What I mean by that is that everyone is growing, but every level of growth is not the same. So the way you have grown and the way I have grown is not the same. And I accept that you are at that level of growth. And when I accept that, then I will accept you. So that's
Good.
how
I
I
think
look
I
at it.
liked your point of wisdom. I took one word from what you said. It
Yeah.
to move forward. A key to move forward.
That's the only door. You have to accept to move forward. Without acceptance, there is no moving forward. Yeah. Thank you.
Adding on
Yes,
to
Rakib.
what, yeah, adding on to what you said. Now, acceptance, you're doing it in what state of mind? Also, from my perspective, is important because when you accept with a lot of heaviness, then the step forward or moving forward maybe will be with a lot of efforts because then there is
Mhm.
some part of other emotions which I'm not seeing at that point of time, and I'm just accepting it.
Mm.
So
Heaviness
accepting
is
as
resistance.
is. Yes, so I was about
Heaviness
to
is
come to
resistance.
that, yeah, yeah, that is what I was about to come, now acceptance in that state is going to be resistance, is
Mm.
going to be succumbing
Mm.
to an extent. So
Yeah.
I need also be aware I'm accepting it with what state of mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if
So,
when I accept it as is without adding any meaning to it,
yeah. Yeah.
then it becomes a ground for me that I'm making it ready to move forward with ease.
Yeah.
Then it will give
So,
me some space to
yeah.
look at what's going to be the
Yeah.
next thing that I can do. Because the
Yeah.
first next thing that I have to do is accept as is without adding any meaning and any frills to it.
Yeah. What will give
That is
you
going to be an acceptance
conviction?
of energy with positive space, or probably I will say in an harmony space, more
Yeah.
than positive or negative. Instead of putting it in those two buckets,
Yeah.
I am one with whatever is happening as is, and
Yeah.
that is the state of harmony that I'm accepting it.
Mm. So my question is, what will give you conviction in that method that you have explained? It's very, very correct, whatever you have said. First of all, when there is heaviness, there is no acceptance. So you are not saying something to that other person, but inside you have not accepted. On the outer, you might say even yes, but actually you have not accepted. So that's not the acceptance that I'm talking about. Second thing is, how do we get conviction? Is when you try it, just try it. Somebody says something. Through wisdom, I have accepted it. Through wisdom. Why? Because they are saying this based on their understanding. It is not matching with what I feel or I think, but I understand that wisdom is there in acceptance. So when I accept that person, I'm not accepting what they are saying, but I'm accepting them. I'm not fighting them. Okay. I see that they are seeking happiness just like me. I see that they are seeking harmony like me, and they have come to that particular conclusion. And they may be operating from their ego. And that's fine because they have still have to figure out, So I understand this. They don't understand this. So who is it that has to accept?
Exactly. The very good, the powerful point that you got is in they are accepting out of their ego. That is what I see. But
Yeah.
for them, it could be a self-respect because
Yeah,
it's
of
all
course. Of course. Yeah.
it's going to be all personal perspectives with the
Yeah.
experience that you carry on.
Yeah.
However, easily we say that your experience doesn't play an important role, but I feel experience plays an important role only if you work with your awareness. Will you be able to distinguish between whether my past is playing here or
Yeah.
am I being free from my past?
Yeah. So that's the two level. One is what that person is saying. Another one is what is going on in my experience. Can I accept my experience as it is? Okay. If there is anger, can I accept that anger? If there is, feeling of being suppressed or being, mm, whatever discomfort that is there, can I accept that first? It's not the other person. It's always me first. Okay. Me first in the sense that that other person is only in my perception. That other person is not even there. The way I see you is based on what I think about you and how I feel about you. And that's how my experience is. If I can accept that, then I can accept the other person.
Yeah, that's the next level of acceptance, because everything that's seeing out is about me, not about that thing out. So,
Yeah, yeah. Because you are only there in my mind, in my, like perception. So Rakhi is looking at Rakhi based on what, it's processing. But I see you not as what you are. I see you as what I see what you are, you know? So that is the one that I'm dealing with. And that is not even outside, that's inside me. Yeah.
I
So
think
you're not there.
that's where the game of a coach and a mentor happens, because you always resist what your coach and your mentor tells about you, because you cannot see his perception or her
Yeah.
perception onto the way he is
Yeah.
looking at you, and that's his
Exactly.
his own capabilities and abilities to look at it, which you can't even see.
Yeah.
So I guess that's one of the learning as an practicing professional in that space, that you need to also accept somebody who's seeking from you, that they will not understand what you're seeing about them,
Yeah. Yeah.
and give that space for one to
Yeah.
grow.
So
Just be there,
Baba,
hold the space.
yeah. What Baba does is Baba raises us beyond that. And Baba says that, look, you're all Brahmins. You all belong to me. You are loved by me. You are all brothers. You see how everything starts getting to be cancelled, you know? So there is no my anymore. So
Yeah,
now
and
all exactly when we come, as I told from subtle to gross, the more gross we come, the more differences. You are from that, I am from that. You live here, I live there. You are thinking like this, and you are aligned to that person, and I am aligned to this. The more as we become gross, even the people who are neighbors, they are neighbors, they are very close, but totally. In one family, there are so many family members, but so much different. Why?
correct.
Because in that level, uh, everything is different. Yeah.
Exactly. And if you look at it, today's Avik Murli, today morning Sunday, Avik Murli is all about this.
Mhm. So yeah,
All
we keep
about
that.
love and cooperation. And Baba says, come what may be, you need to be doing that. If you need
Exactly.
someone, you have no scope. There is no other choice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that's what I said. Whether you accept or you don't accept, you accept. But if you put wisdom, then you can live a life that is harmonious. Not only you can live life that is harmonious, you start noticing that the others are now coming closer and there is no conflict anymore. I have that much power. Yeah. So just like Baba accepts us all with so many errors, why can't we do the same thing for others? Thank you, sister. The same thing, right? Can we just accept others? When we say accept this, if somebody is nice to me, what acceptance is there? There is no acceptance. You are nice to me. You're doing everything according. What acceptance is there? Acceptance is only there if that person has some resistance. That person is doing something wrong. Then only there is acceptance. To accept something that is okay. Somebody gives a very precious, nice gift. Is it difficult for you to accept? It's very easy. There is no difficulty. You see? So it's so easy to apply this and see it in your life. The reason why I'm sharing this is because I have seen it. Yes, Omba.
Om
You
Shanti, beautiful
Sorry.
conversation,
Yeah,
beautiful
just
discussion
Raki
happening.
will once
Yeah,
Omba. Omba, go ahead.
yeah, it's a very interesting discussion. Very deep. The acceptance happens only when there is a resistance. Definitely, it's absolutely true. And I was just imagining this sculpture. The more we digress away from the seed stage,
Mm, mm.
there are the stem, then there are so many branches, and every branch will also have so many sub branches and so many leaves and all that. So if we can notice the culp tree, visualize the confusion is increasing. The more distant we are from the seed, and as you rightly said, the ego, the gross level consciousness kind of thing is increasing, the body consciousness is increasing, and that creates resistance. You see the branches in amongst themselves also, they touch each other, rub each other, and you know so Baba, as you also brought out, that Baba follows, that's a excellent communicator, and Baba accepts everyone because Baba is always in the seed stage. Baba is always in the roots. So
Yeah,
if we are in our roots, that who am I, and if I can have that skill or the ability to look at other also in the same vision, that that soul is having a role, but actually the soul
mm,
uh, is incorporeal, and it's Baba's child,
yeah,
then we'll have the power to accept. Om
yeah,
Shanti.
yeah, yeah. Yes. Rakiman, you wanted to say something?
I was telling, because there is duality is when we know the goodness exists. You know,
Yeah,
we know the
yeah,
importance of good because there is bad existing. We know the
yeah,
importance of acceptance because there is resistance. You know the
yeah,
importance of day because there is night. So
yeah,
the point that I'm bringing across is everything is going to be existing as is. Then why question it?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, they
And
are
that
in their stage of evolution. Everything is in their stage of evolution. We have to bear in mind that, no? Like
exactly,
we
that's
are
how
not,
again is acceptance.
yeah, we are not understanding thing in the same way. We are at a different stage, and every stage has a different understanding. Like it was not like instantly, like, everything you get. No, if not now, you have previously worked on that particular thing. That's why you are able to do that, you know.
Yes,
So, and you ask anybody, they don't have any errors. Is there anybody who can say that I don't have any errors in me? There is no one. So if I have error, okay, maybe not in that area this other person is struggling, but I have errors in my own, you know. So I have to accept that that is there, and then I can accept others.
Arif, just adding one reflection
Yeah.
here is acceptance and resistance are two opposite forces.
Mm.
Acceptance pulls and
Yeah.
resistance pushes.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they involve equal amount of energy, but in a different directions.
Yeah.
You can see resistance is a reaction,
Yeah.
whereas acceptance is a response.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the more we go into, we understand this. Resistance also using the same energy, equal amount of energy, maybe even more,
Oh, yeah.
but somehow it is in a wrong direction. It is
Mm.
not having the correct perspective, correct understanding of,
Mm.
as you say, no, to putting
Mm.
ourselves in their shoes and to see why that person is like that.
Mm. Mm.
So today's Murli Baba brought out that if we can
Mm.
change the perspective, नजरिया चेंज कर देंगे तो नज़ारे चेंज हो जाएंगे ना।
Nazar, yeah.
नज,
Exactly.
तो
Exactly.
नज़ारे का नजरिया कब चेंज होगा जब नजरें चेंज होगी।
Yeah.
नजरें कब चेंज होगी जब
Yeah.
हम अपने को और उसको भी एक परमात्मा की संतान देखेंगे।
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
We
On
are
this.
we are same. We are same family, and family matters remains within the family. We don't discuss outside. No, that is what you have to. Yeah.
Only if this principle would have been understood by the world, we would definitely not see what's happening around at the moment.
Yes, absolutely.
I
Because
would say, let
we
us
are into the
accept the world
branches.
also.
We are into the
I
branches.
agree,
We
I
have gone
agree,
far away
I
from the
agree.
seed. We have gone far
Yes,
away from the seed. That
Yeah.
is what if we can somehow bring them towards the seed, we all are one. It's
Yeah.
our tree. It's our
Yeah.
tree, common tree, one tree,
Yeah.
one family. But
Exactly. Like
but
I
I like
told
what Ayubai said, that's that. Let's not accept that because we don't know what's there in their perspective.
evolution. They are
Yes,
evolving. They are evolving. They are not static. There is nobody who's static. Everyone is evolving. So the
yes,
world is, we know this is Iron Age. Okay. And who's going to bring that is our acceptance of others, whether it's a country, whether it's a, party, whether it's religion,
anything, any
whether
entity. Yeah.
we have to accept it,
You
that's where
see, Arif bhai,
evolution
some are evolving rapidly,
quicker.
some are evolving slowly. That is the only difference.
Yes.
Some are evolving like Brahman children. We have this
Yeah.
fortune of being
Yeah.
knowing the knowledge about the Supreme Soul.
Yeah.
So we are evolving fastly because we have a mentor, personal mentor. We have a
Yeah.
personal coach with us. But not everyone has got this liberty,
Yeah.
this
So,
privilege to have a personal coach like Shiv Baba.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have to connect other souls also with him so that they also evolve rapidly, and come back
So,
to the seed stage.
so why is he telling us start at home? How is our centers? How do we deal with others, each others? That becomes an example. you
Yeah,
know
that's why
so
he
it's
says
so
charity
important.
begins at
Yeah,
home.
exactly. If we start having conflict, sometimes it happens, then Baba says you are really like having such a high teacher, and you people are doing this. So we have to search here. And when I say here, I mean that I am that soul that has recognized this knowledge. So I am the same soul at work, I am the same soul at home, I am the same
Absolutely.
soul when I'm in the center. In the center I'm talking, very softly, very nicely, and then the moment I go
Yeah.
out, you know, and just a call comes and then suddenly it changes. No, this is not like I'm not putting up this face. This is
Arif bhai, I
what I
agree
know.
with you. I'll just add one little reflection to make it more clear
Yeah,
to everyone. Is this that home is a prayogshala, is a lab, science lab.
yeah,
Whatever we're
yeah,
doing in home,
yeah,
we
yeah.
it creates clarity, and also it's a checking point. Where am
Mhm.
I? Who am I is okay, but where am I? you know, am I in the branches or I'm still,
Yeah,
I'm still in the branches or I'm in the seed stage. So that checking happens in home. That's why Baba says charity. Charity is nothing but
mm,
checking,
yeah,
checking at home.
yeah,
Charity, checking
exactly.
begins at home. Once we
Really?
are able to check ourselves at home, we can change, and then that manifests in everywhere. It's
yeah,
not that, center we are soft spoken and
exactly.
in Marada, but
Yeah.
in home we are fighting or petty
No,
things,
no.
and we are not respecting the family members. That's something deception. It's a
Yeah.
deception.
There's one practice, very nice practice. See how you are when you are alone. When you
Yes,
are alone, when nobody is looking at you, what are your thoughts?
absolutely, absolutely.
It's such a beautiful exercise. Really, you are alone. There's nobody at home, you know. Check yourself. There's nobody to look at me. How am I? How
And
am I? Thoughts?
Arif bhai, sometimes when I used to reflect upon what is this home, in few months back, the home is nothing but actually, it starts from the soul itself with the companionship of mind, intellect, and sanskars.
Yeah,
Actually, soul is even detached from mind, intellect, and sanskars, but always remains in the company of these three faculties.
yeah.
How is the relationship with the soul, relationship with
Mm,
the mind, own
mm,
mind?
mm.
Because own mind sometimes is a dictator, and
Yeah,
sometimes it's a democratic, and
yeah,
sometimes it's benevolent, sometimes it's revolting. So,
yeah,
how is this is my home actually.
yeah,
Wherever, always
yeah,
I am in this between the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
eyebrows, this is my home. So,
Exactly.
what is the charity? Is my mind, intellect, and sanskar doing charity to me, or they're doing the reverse of charity? That we have to see.
Yeah.
Arifai, there's just
Yes.
one point. I know time is running out. See,
Yeah.
you and I have knowledge. You and I know the tree, the twigs, and everything and all. But
Yeah.
I just want to come out of this world. I have seen people accepting the unexpected, navigating life's uncertainties. I've read this in Power of Positivity. So many information can I give. So we are all nicely knowledgeful. We have everything. So we have that power of acceptance solidified in us. But if I come out, I'll see there are souls who accept the unexpected, who know how to go about uncertain of what is going to happen tomorrow in life. That acceptance, I feel, is the highest echelon of acceptance. Not just understanding myself, understanding people and all, but accepting the unexpected, going through what uncertainties of life, I feel,
Yeah.
is the greatest echelons of
Yeah.
acceptance.
Yeah. So accepting the unexpected. So there is one thing that we say, that a spiritual person is never surprised. And the reason we say that is because there are no surprises. Yeah. So we just accept. Whatever comes, we accept. And I can tell you from my own experience that I have used this. Find a difficult relationship that you are still struggling. There will be somewhere or the other. And put in your mind that I'm accepting this situation. It could be a situation, it could be a person. Just put in your mind, I am accepting this situation, not just repeating it in your head, but putting it deep in your mind. And then start watching that for 1 week. You will start noticing a shift. Okay. You will start noticing, definitely, I can guarantee you will start noticing a shift in that particular relationship, on in that particular situation. Just in your mind, you know, in your heart, just say that I accept this particular person the way they are, without any condition. Just understand, with understanding of what we have discussed. Do that, and then just watch. Every time anything happens, just repeat this: I accept this particular person unconditionally, without any reservation, whatever it is. Just hold. And it's not a mental practice. Okay, this is not a mental practice. This is a deeper practice that comes from the heart. And then see the magic happen. So thank you very much for joining in. And if there are any announcements that you have, please go ahead.
No announcement, RFI. We can just close with a short meditation, maybe for a minute or so.
Yeah. So let's go within. This is the only place that is there. I'm being with myself. I'm in harmony with myself. I'm with that one that is in harmony with everyone. He's always with me. There is no loss, there is no fear, there is no insecurity. Nothing is going to harm if I accept everything and everyone and every situation, unexpected, expected. Just accept. No matter what comes, the first step to transformation is acceptance. And the only way that there is transformation is through acceptance. Acceptance is merged with all the powers. And the good example is our mama. Any instruction that was received, our manmat, our limited mind was not involved. She accepted everything, and we are following whatever she did, because that's the way to achieve success. Om Shanti. So thank you, and have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, we'll see you sometime. Shanti.
Shanti, thank you, Baba. Thank you, RFI. Thank you, Divine Family. We meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.